Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Grasp Confidence Podcast. I'm your host, Tara LaFawn Gooch, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing my friend and colleague, Sarka Risch. Now, she is a LinkedIn strategist, marketing expert, and TEDx speaker who transformed her approach from being a quiet observer on LinkedIn in 2012 to empowering leaders across 30 industries. I love that. Now, she did this by embracing a growth mindset and authentic storytelling. She has helped over 100 leaders build strong digital brands and thriving communities. In 2024, she delivered her first TEDx talk on embracing imperfection. Based in Switzerland, Sarka now offers a tailored 5-week coaching program and workshops that help professionals become thought leaders and achieve their goals. Right up my alley. Sarka, welcome to the show.
Hi, Tara. Thank you so much also for the warm welcome. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, we're all in love with your accent from Switzerland. Absolutely, right? But you and I originally met on LinkedIn. It's typically where I meet a lot of the guests on this show. I love LinkedIn for that reason. It's a great place to reach out for communities. And by the way, this is not a paid sponsorship, I wish. But Sarka, that's where we met. And I came across your profile. I reached out to you. You're also a TEDx speaker. I loved the topic of imperfection and perfectionism and all of that. And we just kind of started a relationship. So this topic of LinkedIn, growth mindset, networking in general, professional speaking, going after big goals is a topic that's near and dear seemingly to both of our lives. Don't you think?
Yes, it's crucial because actually everything starts with a growth mindset. Everything starts within me. And then when I have a purpose, then I can help others, I can inspire others, and I can be the best contribution to others.
Absolutely. It starts within. I talk about that a lot in leadership. Typically when we hear the word leadership or when we look at leadership books or frameworks, it starts everywhere outside of you, right? It's about how to lead a team, how to work with this type of personality, how to best motivate this type of personality. But what I don't see enough is the inward introspection of it, which is really where it starts. It's like you said, it's like that foundation, right? So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about that growth mindset aspect of it, because that's also a topic I'm interested in, and I know a lot of our audience is interested in as well. We hear this term a lot, Sarka, growth mindset, but what is it? What is it? Can you give us a little wisdom there?
Yes, actually, how I think, how I feel also, what I say, how I present myself. So it's all about that because I mean, we have so many thoughts per day, and actually, all thoughts, all words, actions, feelings create our life. And that's so important to work on that and actually, yeah, to just re re- redirect your negative thought, your negative talk, and to really focus on solutions, focus on abundance, and to live in abundance, and also be grateful for everything we achieved, and also to imagine, visualize, manifest my dreams, my goals, to bring them into the reality.
I agree. And, I will tell you something. So recently I had this idea. It wasn't really my idea, I'll be honest. I saw it online. But somebody very famous who's very successful, he had a vision board, right? So I think that's a good step in a practical direction of just kind of understanding like the growth of you as an individual and what that could potentially look like, right? And just making it a reality. Now, I have personally done vision boards in the past, and they've been, on a poster board or like something like that on my wall. But his idea was actually putting it on your phone and making it the wallpaper background of your phone. And you know what? I did it, I think 2 weeks ago. And already so much of it has come into fruition in that little tiny short amount of time. So I would love your take on that as well, because, I mentioned this in my TEDx talk, a quote from Marion Wright Edelman that says, "You can't be what you can't see." How does the vision relate to a growth mindset, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, actually, everything is in our subconscious mind, and you have to change it also, because as a child, we just have everything there, and it's like storage there. So we pick everywhere the impulse and everything what we see, what we hear, and then it's also how our limiting beliefs come to the surface, and that's why we have to rewrite our story, to rewrite it how we wish a life, what we really want to achieve, to realize. And if we see it, then it's even more powerful, because we have to mobilize all our senses. And yeah, my cover on the iPhone is Japan. So I love Japan so much, and I will be working for the first time in my life from Japan this year. So yeah, it really comes true.
It really does. And congratulations on that goal. And I
Thank
love
you.
that example, because I remember that when we first, had our first initial meeting and conversation, you and I actually, now that I'm remembering it correctly, we met through a mutual friend, one of my clients and colleagues who is from Japan as well. And then I remember you mentioning that was a place that you really loved, that you felt a very strong connection. So it makes sense that you put that on your vision board, right?
Yes.
What I love about this approach, it's so easy. Anyone can do this. And you don't have to have all of the answers right away when you start. You just have to think about what your version of success is. And it looks different for everybody, right? So for you, because you're so fond of Japan and have such a close relationship with it culturally and everything else, of course, that makes sense. You put it on your vision board. And then the growth mindset comes in of a belief that you can do this. That's important. I would love for you to talk about that, because, if you mentioned in your TEDx talk about struggling with perfectionism, right? And how that can bring us down. And in a lot of ways, perfectionism is like an anti-growth mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love for you to talk a little bit about that as well. And again, because I want our listeners today to take away really concrete things that they can apply right now to help change their lives and develop this growth mindset. So if you wouldn't mind, please.
Yes, of course. So yeah, I think so many people struggle with being perfect and doing the thing perfect, and this is also why they don't really trust themselves, they don't believe themselves, and they don't share their stories, for example, on LinkedIn. They can't find their voice, or they're really afraid of. And yeah, as I said, everything is in our subconscious mind. It means also the fears, and we have really to face them, to see the gift behind every challenge when we overcome it. And the same is with being perfect, because I mean, nobody's perfect, and it's so powerful when we learn from our mistakes, and we actually grow from them and from failure. So it's actually how is our perspective on things. And also, for example, one simple question every morning when you wake up, just ask yourself, where is my next client coming from? if you are entrepreneur, for example, and just let the question be as is it. Don't seek for answers. Just let it be, and then you will feel the impulses, you will get ideas, people will contact you, and then you just put it in the universe, and you can make this with all other goals that you wish to accomplish, that you would really like to achieve.
I agree. So powerful. But, it starts with a clarity and a confidence as well, right? Because if we're lacking confidence, generally speaking, we're lacking some kind of a clarity, some kind of a purpose.
Yes.
But when we find that and align with that, the confidence comes, but you have to take action on it, right? This is not something that you sit around, and I like what you said. You don't have to know all of the steps. You just have to put it out, right? Put your intention out, make it clear, right? It starts with the clarity, make it clear. I liken this to writing a letter to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I generally tell clients when they're asking me, how do I get to this goal? They're asking like the first step. And I tell them, write a letter to your friend. What does that mean? Well, if you write a letter to your friend, so if I wrote you a letter, right, all the way to Switzerland, here it comes. I wouldn't put strings of letters together. I wouldn't write out the alphabet and ask you to discern what the letter's about. I'm going to write words, and I'm going to have an intention. I'm going to be really clear about what I'm saying to you. The same thing is true when you want to communicate your goals, for example, right? Get clear. So for you, it was Japan, right? For me, I have sets of other goals. So, and what's interesting is I'll tell you one piece of my vision board. I haven't told this to anybody out loud. Nobody knows this yet. This is interesting. The Penguin Publishing House logo. And I'm a step closer today to
Congrats.
that, right? I'm not saying I have that yet, but I'm already grateful for it as if I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of a growth mindset as well, is that trust. And when you have trust, you're already grateful for it because it's almost like you're in possession of it. So it's so interesting. I would love to learn a little bit about, obviously this is a topic you and I are both passionate about, but why did you get interested in growth mindset, networking, LinkedIn, everything that you're doing right now? How did you get started?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, actually, I was the one that didn't have a purpose as well, and I was just living my life. But then a colleague today, my mentor, she told me she sees me as an entrepreneur, and I I was like, no. And then I started working together with her, working on my mindset. I also started developing my LinkedIn skills, and then I realized that actually that's what I love, because I love being inspired by people's stories. I love meeting people, getting to know them, building genuine relationships, and I I just I just really wanted to be me, really to be who I am. I really wanted to work on my vision that I found then with my mentor, and I realized, yeah, my vision is a connected world where I help people to get to know each other, build genuine relationships, get inspired from each other, and if it suits, do business together. And that's actually what motivates me every day to get out from my bed and to really work on myself and for my clients to be the best contribution. And also, as you said, it's so important actually to decide from the state where you would like to be, to imagine you are already there, and then to make these decisions. And that's, for example, why I invest so much in myself, because investment is what brings me forward, where I can help my clients most, and what really motivates me.
it's when you can see it, you can become it.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much clearer, right? And because, for so long in my just personal journey, right? I can't speak for everyone, but for my personal journey, I grew up youngest of five kids, kind of felt like a number a little bit, right? Didn't really stand out, shy kid. All throughout school, I never felt like I fit in, right? Never really saw myself. I felt a little bit inside, a little bit like, there's something special here that I feel like I deserve more. I feel like I'm capable of more. I didn't know what that was, right? Because I didn't see it yet. Once I started seeing it and having gratitude for it, and then having gratitude for the past too, that was important for me. Because for so much of my life, I thought I was held back. And it was me holding myself back, but that's a different story, right? But I feel like a lot of people are right there right now. They're feeling unconfident, but maybe there's a little spark inside of them that says, you know what? I don't feel confident right now. I don't know if I'm made for greatness or not, but I tell you what, I want more than this, right? But they're just trying to see themselves there. So as far as a growth mindset goes, you're talking about your journey and getting into this and it becoming a level of passion for you. What do you remember? I know it's been a while, but going back to what that first step looked like for you, or if you can't remember your first step, what would be a good first step that you could tell somebody right now that they could start visualizing that person that they want to be or that goal they want to achieve? What would you say would be a good first step for people listening?
I find clarity, as you mentioned, crucial. So really, you have to be clear who you are, who you would like to become, what are your strengths, what's your passion, who you would like to help with. And when you have this clarity about yourself, then you can start working on yourself and also on your thoughts and on your mindset. But for me, everything starts with clarity. And then just practice being grateful, practicing mindfulness, like I meditate twice a day. That helps me a lot. I enjoy silence, nature, or just time with myself. And really taking the time for yourself is crucial as well, just to get new ideas, new perspectives. So it's really, you are the only person that you are staying with the whole life, and that's why you really have to like yourself and really you really have to work on yourself, that you are happy, satisfied, and grateful, and practice this gratitude every day. Just tell yourself what I am grateful for today and what are my goals. Imagine you already reached them and be grateful for it and visualize them. And it's also, this moves the needle as well.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's the most commonly questioned thing that I get asked about my book. And that is, you hit it right on the head. People ask me, how can I be grateful for something I have yet to achieve? Right? How can I be grateful for something that I have yet to achieve? When you can get to that point, when you are grateful for something that you have yet to achieve, or when you are grateful for you becoming that best version of yourself and actually having gratitude to already being that person, you think you have all of these steps planned out, right? And maybe you think in your mind you need 100 steps in order to get there. it's amazing how when you get that clarity and paired with the gratitude of already becoming that person or already achieving that goal, all those steps, take it divided by 2, divided by 3 sometimes. It removes so much wasted activity because you can already see that goal. And then once you really see that goal with a lot of clarity and you're already grateful for having it, everything else that's not in line with that becomes a complete distraction. And you say, I don't have time for this. I'm only focusing on this thing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's so powerful, Sarka. I mean, it is so powerful, right? And I mean, this is, people ask me, how did you go from here to here in such a short amount of time? When you're clear and when you don't allow distractions to come in, and when you're focused and narrowed, and when you're grateful, you have to keep that gratitude. It will come every single time. And then it's just consistent effort, right?
Yes.
That power of consistency. If you have one quality, and maybe you're not the smartest person, maybe you don't even have the biggest growth mindset yet, right? Maybe you're not the best looking person or the most talented person, but you're consistent, you will outperform 90% of people, right?
Yes, totally.
And then if you compare that later down the road with a growth mindset, which I think you will, because consistency will forge growth, right? You will be unstoppable.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Yes. Energy goes where focus goes.
Yeah.
And that's so important where you put your energy on, what you focus on. And it's also the focus on the positive thoughts, on solutions, and embracing challenges as opportunity to grow, to learn. And that makes the difference.
It does. It does. And you know, these challenges, obstacles, adversities are going to come in all of our lives, these tests, right?
Yeah.
But the way I look at it as a muscle, right?
Yeah.
In order for your muscle to grow, you have to use resistance. It's literally called resistance training, right? You need a little resistance. And at first you're sore and maybe you're miserable and you're saying, why did I do this? Right? That's what I'm feeling today, by the way, from this weekend's workout. But that's what you're saying at first. And then eventually you start to see the beautiful formation of those muscles happen. But they wouldn't have happened if they didn't have some adversity, if there wasn't some tension and testing, right? And I think that's important to keep in mind. You know, the growth mindset for me it's like a ninja move, right? So anytime these adversities or tests happen, it's my ninja inside my mind, right, that kicks in and says, you know what, I'm grateful. Because this failure is only a perceived failure and it means I'm made for something even bigger. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's so important. And also, our environment is important. Who we are with, it influences us as well. So our coaches, the people we are talking to, it's so crucial to have a supportive and also motivating environment.
Yes, it is. It's the internal environment and the external environment, right? If you're on a growth mindset journey and you're hanging around with people who are not aligned with that, even the best intentions will fail.
Yes.
Right? You have to be around and surround yourself with people that are going in the direction you want to go. And until you get to that point, it's going to be, what did I say? Wasted activity, probably frustration and some failure along the way. So I love that. So powerful. Sarka, any last words of wisdom for anybody? And of course, we also want to know how to get in contact with you, my friend. So first, Any last words of wisdom? And second, how can we get in contact with you?
So, as I said, everything starts within me, but a powerful network is priceless. So having the community, as I said, also the environment, but this true genuine relationships, that's so important because we can inspire them, but we can also get inspired and we learn from each other. So collaborations and also exchange, it's priceless. And yeah, you will find me, of course, on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, shocking, right? I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for everyone who tuned into this episode of Grasp Confidence today. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and leave a review. That is always so helpful. So leave those reviews. And the funny thing is, Sarka, I didn't mention this, but we're actually climbing in Japan. So maybe you can help move the needle a little bit further since you have such an affinity for Japan. But we love you guys no matter what country or continent you are on. And we ask you to please continue to support our show. And again, leave a review with your favorite guest because they love hearing your feedback as well. We will catch you on the next episode, guys. Take care.
Take care.